Hi, Damien here again. I want to talk about something very important. We just got done celebrating 250 years of United States of America's independence. It's a pretty big milestone, and I mean that it has taken a lot of effort, blood, sweat, tears, suffering to get the country to that level of independence. And I want to talk about freedom. What does freedom actually mean? I think we confuse freedom with the ideas of rights. And the reason why I want to delineate the two differences between rights and freedom is because rights are usually agreed upon based upon what society deems as what is just or right. And so that depends purely on the culture itself, and that is voted upon. And so, as harsh and critical as that might seem, rights in one country may not be shared in the rights of another country. But freedom is a whole different perspective. Freedom comes with a lot more than just the freedom to be who you are, to do whatever you want. Freedom requires a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It requires a lot of effort, and it requires a lot of focus and attention to be able to actually live the life that you truly want to live. And so freedom does come with a certain set of discipline, a certain level of effort, and the responsibility, this ability to be responsible, to be able to secure one's freedom. If you're able to understand the life that you want, you would have to take responsibility to actually execute and take action to do shape, to develop, to create that future. Now, there are a lot of people that do not understand how much effort it does take to actually live a life that is truly free. And it requires leadership, strong, developed, and focused leadership. Leadership that has the responsibility and the authority to actually execute on said vision of the future. To be able to be free allows us this ability to know how to shape our lives. Now, I think a lot of people just assume that the freedom that comes into a country like this, that has been born in this. Now, however you feel or think a country is developed or formed or initiated, and that's aside the point. It's a whole different conversation. But the freedom to actually live your life requires a certain level of effort, a certain level of discipline, a certain level of activity to take action. It requires that fortitude to be able to shape that. And if you're not taking the idea of freedom into strong consideration, you're bound to reset back to the different rights that are been given to you by the established culture. And this is where people get confused. Now, the rights that we enjoy in this country or suffer within this country was initiated early on for those who fought for this, and still to this day to those that continue to fight for it, to establish it. But it is these rights that we enjoy or we suffer from is developed by those that are willing to fight for this freedom, this concept of freedom. It requires a certain level of responsibility to be able to author the freedom of your life. So think about this for yourself. What does freedom truly mean to you? And What rights do you need in order to be able to shape that freedom for yourself, for those under your leadership, or your care, your family, your friends, your employees, your customers, your clients, all of those that are following you to this promised land? So remember, freedom does cost something. There is a price to be paid. And are you willing to pay that price to enjoy your freedom, to be who you want to be, to exist in the life you want to exist in? Hopefully, this idea gives you some shaped concepts for yourself. Give it a try. And again, happy Independence Day.